The lake house of screams. After that wild golf ball disaster, the WVLs, or the Worst Vanlifers, were totally in need of a serious break. Shaz was all about manifesting tranquility, which, let's be real, sounded pretty good right about now. Meanwhile, Kev, still nursing that nasty beer bruise on his chest, stumbled upon a listing on the Let's Not Park Here Tonight app. It read, "Secluded lake house, quiet, scenic, perfect for families. Just the escape they needed, right?" They followed the winding directions, excitement bubbling as they imagined themselves chilling by the water, maybe even fishing or just soaking up the peaceful vibes. The thought of fresh air and nature was like a breath of fresh air after the chaos. They were ready for some serious downtime. They rolled in at 6 a.m., the motorhome creaking up a gravel path that totally looked like a racetrack. The sun was just starting to peek over the horizon, casting a golden glow on everything. In the distance, the lake sparkled like a million tiny diamonds, surrounded by towering pine trees. You could see jumps and berms scattered around, hinting at some serious fun ahead. And there it was, a sign that read, "Toilets blocked." How cool is that? It felt like the perfect start to an epic day filled with excitement and exploration. Welcome to Mudfang MX Dirt Bike Park. Track active. 7 a.m., 9 p.m. No camping, no dogs, no crabs. Looks peaceful, Kev said, stepping out of the van, only to find himself ankle-deep in tire ruts that seemed to stretch endlessly. Shaz threw open the van door, and out leaped the Ginger Heinz dog, barking excitedly at a distant revving sound that echoed through the quiet surroundings. Meanwhile, the French bulldog wheezed dramatically, rolling over and flopping onto a patch of gravel like it was the most exhausting thing ever. Just then, the toddler appeared, sporting a bright orange life jacket that looked way too big for him, and rocking just one Croc shoe, like he was ready for a beach day but had totally forgotten the other shoe. It was chaos, but honestly, it felt like the perfect start to their adventure. Gaz unfolded a camping chair right on the track, ready to kick back and enjoy the day. Jaden was right behind him, grabbing a fishing net and a bucket that held their new crustacean buddy, Claus McGraw. I mean, who doesn't love a good crab story, right? Kev popped open a cold beer, the sound crisp and refreshing. Meanwhile, Shaz was on barbecue duty, knowing Gaz would just yell at it for hours if she didn't step in. She poured a generous amount of lighter fluid, the kind that gives everything that unmistakable smoky flavor, before leaning back and lighting the fiery concoction. The flames danced wildly, filling the air with that delicious, mouth-watering aroma of petrochemical, obnoxious fumes. What a perfect seasoning to the soon-to-be cremated sausages. Jaden tossed his net into the calm lake, where a curious crab waved back at him, almost like it was saying, "What's up?" At 6:59 a.m., everything felt just perfect, especially with Sweet Caroline blasting from Shaz's patched-up Bluetooth speaker. But then, at 7 a.m., all hell broke loose, and things got wild. Engines roared and mud flew as a pack of dirt bikes charged in like Valkyries on two-stroke steeds, creating a wild symphony of sound and chaos. One rider swerved past Gaz's chair, barely missing him, while another bunny-hopped over the wheezing French bulldog, who looked utterly confused. The third rider, in a daring move, clipped the barbecue, sending cremated sausages flying into the air like greasy missiles. You could practically hear the sizzling sausages scream as they soared. It was like a scene straight out of an action movie, and you couldn't help but laugh at the sheer madness of it all. What a way to kick off a weekend barbecue, right? "What is happening?" Shaz screamed, ducking as a rider zoomed past her on a bike, pulling off an impressive wheelie that made her heart race. Kev, caught off guard, spilled his beer all over his shirt, and you could see the disbelief in his eyes. Gaz tried to stand up to get a better view, but a flying helmet came out of nowhere, knocking him right back into his chair. Meanwhile, Jaden's fishing net was dragged into the lake by a panicked duck, flapping its wings like it was auditioning for a drama. The crab in the bucket, clinging on for dear life, looked like a war general surveying the chaos around him, ready to make its next move. "Pack it up!" Shaz bellowed. "Get the dogs! Get the crab! Get the toddler! He's heading for the ramp!" Windbreakers collapsed, the barbecue flipped, and sausages tumbled into the mud like greasy bombs. Jaden screamed, "Claus McGraw is missing! Where could he be?" And then there was the ginger dog, racing after a bike like it was the most thrilling chase of his life. You could practically see the joy in his eyes. The French bulldog, on the other hand, was wheezing away, making sounds that seriously resembled Morse code, and if you listened closely, you could almost hear him saying, "I regret everything." The crab was last seen clinging onto a rider's boot, its claw raised high, like it was ready to take on the whole world. Can you believe that? It's such a feisty little creature, showing off its brave spirit. The van was loaded in record time, and let me tell you, it was a scene. Shaz was hurling chairs like javelins, aiming for that perfect spot in the back. Gaz, in his usual chaotic style, shoved the toddler in head first, who giggled. Kev was dragging the ginger dog by its harness, and you could just see the dog's face, totally unimpressed, so it bit him twice to make its point known. Meanwhile, the French bulldog had already taken refuge under the bed, wheezing like it needed therapy help for life. Jaden leapt in last, clutching a soggy net, and guess what? He was holding a very cross crab that was somehow gripping a biker's boot. The engine sputtered, wheels spun wildly, and the van lurched forward like it was on a roller coaster. A rider flipped in midair, bouncing off the motorhome roof, leaving a crazy tire mark behind. As they sped off, diagonally, naturally, a final sausage hit the windshield and slid down slowly, like a greasy tear. Inside, it was quiet. Then Shaz mumbled after checking the app, "Dodgy parking spots are us." "All right, we're heading to a vineyard. Next left, Gaz," Kev chimed in. "Unless it's a motocross winery." Shaz shot him a glare, thinking he needed another wife, like yesterday. Final shot. The supporters all paused to take in the scene at the lake, scattered with charred sausages and a still-smoking barbecue. The metal sign, now bent, reads, "Still no camping, no dogs, no crabs, and absolutely no burnt sausages." Like, subscribe, and share for more van life fun.